Hola, ¿dónde están? Òran.
Well, hello, Holodynia, Kimrashiv,
Veskerma,
Skima,
Amigoma, hi, Fluke, Anju,
Luke, I back and Fluke,
Gele Fluke.
I play Luke.
In San Diego, Lemon Grove, East County,
Julich,
East County, Lemon Grove.
East
Fluke,
County, yeah.
you live in Crestline, right? Is snow?
Sure, what, Hanyal on Trechas, Stoka Amaris.
Whoa. Probably Cuyamacas and Lagunas. or they're near us. Just an hour away,
Ah,
snow.
oh, here. Snug down. Okay, 40 minutes. We got okay. This is odd. I've got okay, yeah. The Zoom was trying to do the captions, but then it was giving me weird spellings for the Gaelic. It was spelling the Gaelic words as if they were in English, and so yeah, so it was okay, huh?
Yeah, I
Who
speak.
Kerstlior Andrasta, Kerstlior. Kerstlior. So I guess Lisa, Kimmerau Anok.
Oh, bhá mí fuair agus fluch.
Oh, Fur August Fluch. Okay.
My camera's not working. I'm going to log out and log back in. So I'll pop back in a minute.
Oh, all right. Okay. I guess Heather, Kimmerau. Kimmerau.
Gleva?
Gleva. Okay. Ashinma. Ashinma. Okay. There's Bella Fur. Bella Tukshin Fur. Cold. Cold. I'll show you. Okay. Let's see, where are we?
I four on taigh.
Fur on some time. Or Fur. Okay. 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 Let me go to the end here to the notes. Okay, so Heather, Fur, cold. Fur.
Fur.
Fur, a Fur. Okay. A Misha a Furich ans na Beaunten. A Furich ans na Beaunten. Ans na Beaunten, okay. Ans na Beaunten. Live in the mountains. So I live in the mountains. Okay. Out in California, Jess. Southern California. Okay. California, Jess. Okay. Anyway, so I guess hi for Stoka Marek be on Trek now. Okay. Be on Trek. Where are we? Trek down. Okay. There will be snow. Be on Trek now. Schneck is snow. Schneck. Okay. Schneck. Snow. And the little thing about pronunciation, this does a weird thing. So right here, you see, we can pronounce an SN pretty easily. Schneck. Okay. But it's much more difficult to pronounce Tnek. You see, okay. So we pronounce the SN here like an SR. Be on Trek out. Okay. So anyway. Okay. And that N sounding like an R occurs elsewhere. You have a word like crook, hill. It's pronounced something like crook, something like that, pronounced crook. The CN or the GN is pronounced like a CR or a GR, okay? And so the TSN, which is actually a TN, is pronounced trek. Anyway, just a little oddity in pronunciation. Anyway.
Hapla. tapla.
Okay, all right. And Lisa, how Usan show?
USA.
Usa, oh, okay. Okay. Usa. Okay. Usa is the emphatic. Okay, USA. Okay. Okay, so we have a number of emphatics on pronouns. Okay. Misha, me. Okay. We should go me. Okay. USA. U. Yeah. Essen. Okay. A. Okay. Isha. E. Okay. Okay. So we have that ending. Okay. So what would it be? Sheena. Sheena would be sheen, us or we, I mean, but emphatic, right? Sheena, sheevsha. Okay. Would be sheev. Okay, you all. Okay. And what's third person? No, that's they. Oh. Yeah, no. First person, second person, okay, third person. Oh, yeah. Ietson. It, they. Okay, yeah, so we have this emphatic that we can add to the end of a pronoun and create an emphatic pronoun. Something like what we do in English. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Chinese food tonight. What do you want? So in English we do it with vocalization, vocal emphasis. In Gaelic we do it with these suffixes, these little endings. Okay, Misha, Usa, Essen, Isha, Sheena, Sheevsha, and you get somewhat of the same effect with Hain. Okay, so you can say Mihain, get a Mihain, Uhain, Ehain, Ehain, and so on and so forth. The Hain, which is often translated as oneself, me, myself, me, Hain, me, myself, or Uhain, you, yourself. Sometimes, so whatever would be the appropriate English translation of that kind of emphasis, oneself. Okay. They also used in reflexive, hook a hain. Okay, he lifted himself. See, hook a, he lifted, and then a, him, and then hain, reflexive back to the a, himself. He lifted himself. Okay. And then just one more little note. Yeah, you'll note that Gaelic does not have an objective case for the pronoun, which means Gaelic does not have a me or a him or a her or a them. We just use the original pronoun. Okay, so hook, me, hain. Okay, so I, lifted. Lifted. In English, we'd say myself, though in Gaelic, it's something like me, myself. Okay. All right. Hook me, me hand. You see, so we don't inflect the pronoun for the objective case. Okay. All right. Okay. Little note. Okay. I guess Tim, come around.
Tommy Trang,
Oh, Bello Trang. How on Coney Trang?
because I had problems with Zoom tonight.
Oh, really? Okay.
It wouldn't let me in. Then it wanted my password.
Ah,
I don't know.
ah. Yeah, let me do it.
So that took a while. Made me busy.
Yeah. Okay, let me do it. Kulmi Moyena the Creve on a Balboa Park. I heard about the tree in Balboa Park.
St. Andrew saved us because it missed us and hit the house of Czech. The
Right.
roof broke things, and it was very, very close to the House of Scotland. A gigantic 100-year-old eucalyptus.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, in case everybody else missed that, at the House of Scotland, Balboa Park, a giant eucalyptus tree came crashing down and hit the House of Czechoslovakia.
And missed us by just a little bit.
And what?
Because we ended up with some sawdust when they cut it.
Oh,
So our
okay.
garden had started, but that was that close.
Oh, okay, that close.
So I said St. Andrews protected us.
Yeah, St. Andrews protected you. Okay. Okay. New Andra. St. Andrew. Okay. New Andra. Okay. Labor. Well, I'm happy for the House of Scotland. Yeah. I mean, Deirdre, sorry, sad, for the House of Czechoslovakia. Anyway, all right. Yeah. And then Heather, you know that at the end of the class, I re-upload this this lesson with the notes at the end and any changes that I've made. So yeah, okay. All right, okay. Anyway. All right. Any questions or issues or anything like that? Anything you want to talk about before we get started? Let me stop the share for a moment. Anything else? Any burning questions? Any desires? No, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. We'll get started. I'll go back to share. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Capital un Seachdaine. Okay. First year, Bliana Ahun, and lesson Seachdaine, 20 and 2. Okay. And of course, our motto, Nishar Gaelic Vrishja, Naverlach Lishja. Better broken Gaelic than fluent English. So here's the piper of the week. And in just a few minutes, we'll find out the significance of this particular piper in this particular location as he watches the ship sail away. Good. All right. Okay. All right. Of course, the perma invite link that I gather, since we're all here, is still working. And then the perma link to material. Okay. All right. Clàr na Seachdaine, schedule of the week. Okay. Fàilte, of course. Okay. Seanfhacal na Seachdaine. Let's see what that is. Gràmar na Seachdaine, grammar of the week. Tonight we're going to do two things as far as grammar goes: the future tense and the verbal noun. Okay, so we can use the future tense of, right now we have ha and va, right? Is and was, as it were, the present tense, but now we'll expand that with the future tense. And Sgeulachd, as I promised, we'll take a look at the story of Deirdre of the Sorrows, and Òran. Okay, beautiful, sad song. My father sent me to the house of sorrow. Okay, all right, so. Fàilte, fun phrase. Okay, so we'll do this once in a while. Curses. How do you curse in Gaelic? Okay. Okay, so there's a few different ways. And so I just for tonight, to open up this sequence, won't do it every week, but once in a while I'll do it. In English, a lot of time we have fixation in English on sexual activity, various kinds of sexual acts, or maybe disgraceful sexual acts. In Gaelic, curses and insults are oriented around death, humiliation, suffering, and damnation. A lot of stuff about the devil, go to the devil and things like that, having to do with the sometimes very intense, or at least at one time was very intense religious orientation amongst Gaels in the Highlands. Okay. And so the first one, you might have heard this one before, Pogue Mahone. Okay. Okay. So anyway, literally kiss
my behind, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
The nice way.
Yeah, or kiss my butt. Tone would be, pogue would be kiss, and very often it's used in a nice way. Okay. And hone from the word tone would be butt or ass, or posterior, derriere, something like that. So so if somebody cuts you off in traffic, you can just say pogue Mahone. Okay. Okay. Anyway, all right. So that's your first Gaelic swear word, pogue Mahone. All right. All right. Okay. Well, and here's a calendar for the month. The forever calendar on Mart. Okay. Okay. The forever calendar for March, with the days of the week, La Nasabich. And feel free to say along after me. La Nasabich. Jaluin.
Jaluin.
Here, I'll let me turn this around so you can read it. Okay. Okay. La Nasabich. Jaluin.
Jaluin.
Jimarsht.
Jimarsh.
Jikirtan.
Jikirtan.
Justun.
Justun.
Jahunya.
Jahunya.
Jasarnya.
Desharnia.
Jasarnya. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And Amart. Sometimes you'll hear Amarsht. There's a and this will go in a note. Okay. There's a distinction in pronunciation in Gaelic. Sometimes you'll see the ARD or the ending of a word, ART or ARD. Okay. And I'll give you some examples. ARD will be pronounced either, let's see if I can do this. Yeah. Either, well, art, art, or arsht. Arsht. Okay. And and you have words like poet, art, high. Okay. Well, Okay. March, as in the month. Okay, so now there are some people, some Gaels, I'll bring this in, okay, who will pronounce these as barsht, arsht, and marsht, and others who will pronounce it as bard, ard, mart. Okay? Okay. Now, I have to confess, I go both ways. And this is the reason. I was heavily influenced by a Gaelic speaker who pronounced it with the S at the end. Okay, so I learned to say barsht, arsht, marsht, like that, right? However, it makes more sense to make a distinction because you do have barsht of the bard, or you do have, no, you don't. You do have arshtja. Arshtja. Okay. Okay. Which is an inflected high. Okay. And you do have marsht, which would be of March. You see, so you do have these forms, and it's helpful to make a distinction between them. Okay, so so I think it's best to pronounce these bard, art, mart, without the S, even though sometimes you will hear me pronounce them with the S. Okay, so I hope that isn't too complicated, but a little deal on pronunciation. Okay, and then say the ST, the sh, the barsht, the arsht, the marsht, for words that you see spelled that have the insertion of the I. Okay, insertion of the I, right? Okay, okay. Anyway, so where were we? I got off a mar. Okay, all right, okay, all right, okay, all right. So, dates of note in the month of March. Okay, so I thought we would note Flora MacDonald. Who's Flora MacDonald? Do we know?
Yes. She helped Bonnie Prince Charles, and then
Uh-huh.
she was put in the Tower of London, and she went to America, and her husband was put in because he was a redcoat put in, and they burned her plantation. She went back to Skye.
Right.
That's where she's dead.
Yeah. Yeah. So like Tim says, Flora MacDonald was a young woman on the Isle of Skye who helped Bonnie Prince Charlie escape after the failed 45 uprising, 1745. And one of the ways she did it was she disguised him as her maid, Betty Burke. Okay?
An Irish person.
An Irish person, yeah, an Irish maid. And they gained passage on a boat, snuck by the English soldiers, and sailed away. And then he was finally delivered to a French frigate, a French man-of-war, a warship, and carried back to France. And so Bonnie Prince Charlie lived out the rest of his life in Europe. Okay, but anyway, so we remember Flora MacDonald. She died on March 5th, 1756, and I remember her now because we don't have a date for her birth. Because remember, back in the day, birthdays were not always recorded. Okay, though very often, interestingly enough, days of baptism or christening were recorded in the local church, but not the day of the birth. But we don't have any of that for her. But like I said, the birth date is unknown. So we'll, for convenience sake, we'll just use March 5th as the day to remember her. Okay. All right. Okay. So Flora McDonald. Okay. All right. Okay. And the Shanach on the Shechina. Biarkin Antarif Nasmoa Ansachio. So go ahead and try to say that. Biarkin Antarif
Biarkan antar,
Antarif
Nasmoa
Nasmoa Ansachio.
Nasmoa, and Shoal.
Okay. The horns of the bull are larger in the fog. Okay. And this is really a neat little saying. It just means that those things that we can't see clearly appear larger, appear maybe more frightening, more intimidating. So the idea being, we see this looming presence in front of us in the fog, and it just seems to be so monstrous. But if there wasn't any fog, we just say, oh, just a cow. Okay, so the horns of the bull are larger in the fog. And right here, I make a note, including a new language that we've just begun learning. Okay, so it just seems, so some of you might be experiencing, how intimidating, how large, Gaelic looms for us. It's the horns of the bull, just this monster language with all these mysterious turns and twists and secrets that we're just starting to learn. But eventually the fog will dissipate and we'll start to see clearly. Okay, but remember that Biarkin Antarif a small ounce of hill. Okay. Oh, and I might make a note that B right there will figure into this week's grammar lesson as well. So, all right. Okay. Okay. And here we go. Grammar Neshekina, grammar of the week. The future tense and the verbal noun. Okay, so now there are other words, other verbs that we can use besides the verb be, okay, that we've been focusing on. And as you remember, hami ski, or on J, vamia koper, I was working, okay. On drasta, right now, hami ski, okay, I am tired, okay. But that's the verb is, the verb to be. And like in English, the verb to be has a future tense. And it's be, okay? Kind of convenient. Be me, I will. And like with the other forms, there's a question and a negative form for this too. Okay, be, will you, be, chavi, I will not, or will not. Okay, it doesn't have to be me. Okay, of course. Nachbi, will you not, won't you, or won't, won't, whatever. Okay, nachbi. So be me, be, chavi, or nachbi. Okay, and I'll just mark those. Okay, those are the root forms. Okay, those are the basic forms of be. Okay, the future tense. Okay. Okay. So here's some usages. Be fur amarach. Go ahead and say that. Be fur amarach.
Be für Amarek.
Marek.
It will be cold tomorrow. Be will be. Okay. Be fur amarach.
Be für Amarek.
Will it be cold tomorrow? See, be. Okay, be. Okay. All right. Okay. Chavi mi ekentai anok.
Have me I entire.
I will not be chavi. I will not be at home tonight. I'll not be home tonight. Nak be a.
Not be a.
Ekekeli Jehunya.
Eke Haley. Yeah.
Okay. Won't he be at the Cayley? Won't he be at the Cayley Friday? Nach be. Won't he be? Okay. All right. Okay. And these are used. So here we just have the verb to be, used by itself. And like we've been using other forms of the verb to be with the verbal noun, we can do that with the verb with the future tense as well. Be me a dole,
Be me a dole.
agalapa ambliana.
Yalapa Ambliana.
Uh-huh. I will be going to Scotland this year. Be me a dole. Okay, be me a dole. I will be going. Okay, or sometimes we just translate it as I will go. Okay, I will go, I will be going. Okay. Havimi a koper,
Vimi a goper.
amara.
Amarek.
Okay. Havimi a koper. I will not be working tomorrow. Chavi me a koper. So note that we make the positive and the negative with the verb to be, in this case, the future tense, be me, chavi. Okay. Nach be an tushka,
Nak be an tuska.
a chian,
Achin.
jirich neshekana, jirich
Ye na
neshekana.
shekana.
Okay. Won't the rain be coming on the weekend? Nach be an tushka a chian. Okay. Okay. All right. Nach be an tushka a chian. Okay. Won't the rain be coming? Okay. And as I said, this future tense is used much like the present tense and past tense that we've already learned. So we'll say hamiski, vamiski, hamiadol, vamiadol. But now we'll learn how to say bimiski or bimiadol. Okay? All right? Okay. Any questions about this so far? Okay. Okay. All right. So very similar to what we've already been doing. So, not much more to talk about it, but we'll just practice it. But there's one other little distinction. The future tense is used to communicate continual or habitual action. Okay. So note, you can say, be me a coper, be me a coper a hulala. I work every day. Okay. So note, in English, when we want to say that something is habitual or regularly reoccurs, we use the present tense, the simple present tense. And Gaelic, we use this future tense. Be me a coper a hulala. Now, of course, sometimes outside of context, it might not be clear whether the speaker is referring to something he will do or something he does, like every day. Okay, but that should be clear out in context. Okay, so here's another example. Be a dole.
Be a dole.
Jan skol.
Jan skol.
Anan dunaitchen.
Anan dunaitchen.
Okay. He goes to school in Edinburgh. Okay. Be a dole. Okay. Now, in this case especially, one could read that as he will go to school. Okay. He will go to school or he goes to school. That is, he does it every day. I mean, that's where he's going to school nowadays. But as I said, this is clear. This becomes clear in context. I mean, so if you're asking what Seamus is going to do next week, and somebody says, well, be a dole on school on a donation, it obviously means he will go to school in Edinburgh. But if you're saying, well, what's the little Seamus doing these days? Then you're asking about a continual state of affairs, and he's going to school now in Edinburgh. Okay. And just to go back to how to contrast it with how we use it in English, I'll use so Bimi agicha pizza a hulala. Okay.
Bimia isha pizza hulala.
Hulala. Okay. In English, we'd say I eat pizza. In Gaelic, we'd say I will eat pizza every day. In English, we'd say I eat pizza every day. Okay. Be for Sgeulachd. For Sgeulachd.
Sgeulachd.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is cold in winter. Okay. In English, we'd say it is cold in winter. In Gaelic, we'd say it will be cold in winter. Okay. And then right here, just to go back to be a adult, depending on context, could be interpreted as he will be going or he goes, but on a regular and continual basis. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So any questions about that? Okay. All right. So here's some exercises. We won't do all of them, but I'll get you started on them because I have something else to bring up in terms of grammar. Okay. So fill in the blanks with the correct form of be. Okay. So something adult yon school amarak, and we want to say, will you be going to school amarak? So what would you put here?
Ambi.
Ambi, very good. Yeah, ambi, the question form. Okay. Okay. And right here, ha, mia koper jalu, and I will not be working on Monday.
Havi.
Havi, yeah, havi, yeah, very good. Okay. Does he drink milk every morning? So a go banya gachmaten. The question form.
Ambi.
Ambi, very good. Yeah, ambi. Okay. And Sheen a kluch an Sgeulachd fesker. We will be playing in the garden this evening. So that would be
Bishin.
Bishin. Yeah, very good. Yeah, very good. Okay. And nach, and then something
B.
B. Yeah, nach B ia downse hula jahunya. Does she not dance every Friday? Okay. 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 See, will they be walking to the sea on Saturday? Okay.
Ambi.
Ambi ieta koshik namara jasarnya. Very good. Okay. And then ha, you will not be listening to music tonight. Ha,
Ambi.
havi.
Avi.
Chavi, yeah, you will not be, okay? Chavi, okay? Okay, and then will we be talking to your mother?
B.
B, okay? And then I write a letter every evening.
B.
B.
Yeah,
B.
B me skrivig, leacher, gach fesker, okay? And nach, will they not be playing football tomorrow? Nach
B.
B, nach B. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. And then on your own, you can come back to this and translate these into Gaelic. Okay. Got some exercises there. Okay. And right here, we'll just do a couple of these. Make it negative. Okay. We want, so how do we make this negative?
Havi.
Me.
Kavi mi eskrivik leacher. Yeah, how do we make this?
Kabi who? Kabi who?
Kavi? Yeah. Maybe these are too simple. All you have to do is just
Put Habi in front and get rid of the first part.
put Kavi in front of everything. Yeah. Okay. All right. Pleva. Okay. and then ask a question. So here you have a choice. Okay. The original sentence is she will be singing a song. You want to make it into a question. So how would you make this into a question?
Be.
Be Shane Òran. And how do you make this into a negative question?
Oh, not be.
Not be.
Nachbe, yeah, nachbe, yeah. Very good. Okay, ask a question. Okay. All right, Gleva. Okay. All right. And then you can come back and play with the rest of the sentences. Okay. All right. Okay, so continuing with the definite article. Okay. Now, keeping in mind that we've been working on the definite article for a few weeks now, and we're still not done. Oh, we're still not even done with the nominative, that is the subjective. So anyway, but we'll eventually get there. So you remember I was, when we first started, I talked about how the definite article that we use is influenced by the gender, the number, the case, and the initial letter of the noun, the onset letter of the noun. Okay, so anyway, so we're still in the subjective case, the nominative case, the root case of the or the root form of the noun, and the subjective case. But now we're coming to the initial letters C and G, which are known as the gutturals. Okay, because if you say them, you form that sound in the throat. Okay, a croak. Okay, coo. You see, so you'll see that the sound comes out of the throat. Okay, that hard guttural sound. Okay, for both the C and the G. And unlike with the T and the D, okay, or the what was it? The don't tickle naughty little rabbits words. The L and the R and the N. Okay. Now we're back to a group of nouns that do change the definite article. And here's how they change. First, the masculine nouns are all on. On crook. Go ahead and say that. On
Crook.
On crook.
Crook.
crook. On coo.
On
Uncle.
On actually, it should be on coo. Okay. Long U. Okay. On gua.
Angua.
On gua. Okay. The wind. On garstin.
On Garston.
On Garston.
The arm. Okay, all these are masculine nouns, and so note how we say the on. The on is the and we pronounce the hard guttural. Okay, we pronounce the guttural fully. Look what happens with the feminine nouns in the definite. Okay, one we use a apostrophe, and the noun itself is lenited. So, achunya.
Ahunya.
It's lenited, and lenition relates to a word that means to soften. And so I'll just write here the noun itself. Kunya is the noun. The memory would be achunya. Okay. Achrek.
Achrek.
Achrek. Okay. Okay. Softened. Okay. Destruction or ruination. Okay. Whereas the root word is krek with the C. Okay, with a hard C. Okay. Agaram.
Yarm.
Agaram. The call or a summons or a proclamation. Agaram. Okay. Okay, I got him. And that's the root word is got him. Okay, got him. Agala. Agala.
Agala.
Okay,
Agala.
a female dog or a bitch. Okay, right? But used in reference to dogs, not in reference to people. Like oh, she's such a bitch. Not like that. Okay, but uh, but just doesn't have a bad connotation in Gaelic. It just refers to a dog that happens to be a female. Okay, right? A gala. Okay. Oh, and okay. Oh, okay. And I'll make another note here. Uh, uh, I'll put gala. Okay. Okay. A little note. Here's another swear word for you. Taigh Nagala. Okay. Okay. House of the bitch. Okay. So here's how it's used as a swear word. Okay. So if you're telling somebody to get the hell out of here, you say taigh Nagala, you go to the house of the bitch, or go to the dog house, or something like that, whatever it means, whatever it means, it's not good. Okay, taigh Nagala. Okay, right. Anyway, and here's a couple other examples. Agal talk,
Agal talk.
the lowlands, land of the Gauls.
Galtak.
Okay, Agal talk, and Agail talk.
Agal talk.
That's the Highlands, the land of the Gaels. Okay.
Gales and Gauls.
Gaels and Gauls. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so here I have another note. Mochrech.
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 Okay.
Okay, so right here, achrech, ruination, destruction. Mochrech is a common phrase that means more like it doesn't mean what it might seem to mean, destruction, ruination. Okay, it is used nowadays to mean something like, oh darn it, or oh my goodness. Okay, Mochrech Sahanik, my ruination has come, literally, but is used more like, oh goodness gracious me, oh Mochrech Sahanik. So if you spill the milk, or you stub your toe, or you forgot, misplaced your keys. Oh, Mochrech Sahanik. So Mochrech. So that's a good exclamation. So yeah, so we have a few exclamations and curses in tonight's lesson. So Mochrech and taigh Nagala, house of the bitch. Okay. Okay. And then note here too that crook for hill and also GN is pronounced as a CR or a GR. Okay. Okay. Crook. So you don't say Canuck. Okay. You say crook. Crook. Yeah, I'll put little pronunciation sign here and crook. 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 Something like that. Okay, pronounced something like crook. Right? Okay, the CN is pronounced as a CR or a GO. All right. Okay. So those are the definite article for the gutturals. Okay. And I do have we have a couple minutes before we have to shift gears and go into
Question.
the next section. Yeah, what?
Are parts of the body female? Feminine?
Many of them, yeah.
But not arm.
Maybe there's some exceptions.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But not all of them.
So arm is masculine, even though it's a part of the
Yeah.
body.
Yeah, Angarston, yeah. Okay. Angarston. Strone, nose is feminine. Biol, mouth is feminine. Okay, things like that. Okay, so most of them are feminine, but you do have a few that are masculine.
So are they masculine because they're strong? Like an arm is strong? Like a certain, like what about legs or
Yeah,
how would we remember?
I'm afraid you just have to remember. Okay. Because, I, for the most part, I don't think you can put logic to whether something is masculine
Yeah.
or feminine, except if it falls into the categories that I discussed. You know, so most of the time, if it has the final slender vowel, you know, it's feminine. Or if it falls into the category of being a body part, it would be feminine. You know, so but remember, as we talked about, those are about 80% accurate, or so the odds are with you. Okay, but still you have the exceptions. And so one of the ways I'd suggest trying to remember it is, once you do get it, so I think Cuss is or what do you say, Garstion more. Okay, you know, remember it with that
Okay.
with that attached adjective, or angarstion, not agarshtion, but angarstion more.
Mm.
So pair it or connect it with the definite article and the adjective, you know, in your memory bank, in your little memory slot, the pigeonhole that you keep the word in. Okay. All right. Okay. So I hope that's helpful. Okay, so let me go to, I'll show you what we got. Just give me a moment to find my, where are we? I think this is it. So I'll just introduce you to this exercise like I've been doing. We have a, yeah, okay. Now let me, okay. Let me, we have and of course I will upload this to our Dropbox. We have these flashcards, okay? So like we've been doing with the others, okay, before, we want to use the correct definite article. So we'll have something like ku means dog, okay? And it's masculine. So what would the dog be?
Anku.
Anku, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. So, where are we? Kortuk, agreement, masculine would be
Ankordak.
on Kortuk, yeah, okay. Now right here, Kortuk. I have to stop myself, because I originally learned to say this as Korstuk, okay, but I have to correct myself because I want to be consistent. Anyway, all right. So anyway, Korp, the body would be
Oncorp.
Oncorp. Yeah, yeah. And Heather, to address your question a couple moments earlier, another word for body would boic, and that would be avoic. Okay, feminine, avoic. Okay. The and it doesn't mean the female body, but it's the noun, another noun that means body, that would be feminine gender. Okay, Horla,
Homla.
Achorla,
Yeah.
Okay, soften, be lenited, Achorla. Okay, Garstion,
Ongarston.
Ongarstion. Yeah, okay, Garug,
On.
Unguarded.
Angarag. Yeah, okay. Gelban,
On.
Ongalabon.
Angelabun. Yeah. Okay. Gelach,
Hello.
Ayelak.
Sgeulachd, very good. Sgeulachd, okay, yeah, okay. Gaurug,
And go where-
Undoubted.
on Gaurug, yeah, good. Gaunsey,
On Gansik.
on Gaunsey, yeah. Gyar,
On Gyar.
on Gyar, okay. Gaeta,
On Geta.
On Geta.
Gaeta, okay. Gear,
here.
On here.
Gear,
Here.
gear, gear, yeah. And this would be fat like, fat on meat or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Gyoy,
On Hyoi.
Here.
Boy,
Ahoy, ahoy, ahoy. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, a GH. Okay, a very soft guttural. Ahoy. Okay. Gimmick,
On
On
Gimmick.
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 on gimmick. Okay. Glanya,
Yanya.
Alanya.
Achlanya, Achlanya.
Klanya.
You can almost make the G go away. Achlanya. So if you end up saying Alanya, that'd be okay. Okay. Achlanya. Okay. Getting that soft guttural G is a bit of a trick. Okay, it's a bit of a trick, but it'll come. Achlanya. Okay. Glug,
On glug.
Glua.
on glug. Okay, yeah. Glown, glown,
On glown.
On Glion.
on glown, on glown. Okay. Gluck,
On
On
gluck.
Gluck.
on gluck. Gluck. Gaeltuck.
A gale tuck.
Okay, a Yale tuck, a Yale tuck.
Gale tuck.
Okay, lenited. Gull tuck,
A gall tuck.
Yata.
gull tuck, a gull tuck. Okay, gleba. Okay, all right. So, okay. So anyway, and you've got a bunch more. I've got 100 here for your flashcards to practice on. Keep you busy, keep you out of trouble in the coming week. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay. Any questions so far? Oh,
I told it,
okay, gleba. And then remember during the week, if any questions come up, feel free to contact me. I'm always happy to hear from you. I get very lonely. I'm sitting here in front of the computer all by myself. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let's go on to. Okay. Oh, so this is fun. Let me find my. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me go here. I've got to, where's my Zoom? So I want to share the screen. Okay. All right. All right. Right here. Okay. All right. Okay. Deirdre the Sorrows. Okay. So, this is an ancient story. It's shared across the Gaelic culture. Comes to us from Irish Gaelic, ancient Irish Gaelic mythology, legends, stories. Okay, it's considered one of the three sorrows of Ireland. Okay, it's a seminal that is a root or a foundational story or myth or legend in Gaelic culture. Okay, and people, Gaels, Gaelic speakers, both in Ireland and Scotland, still continue to make reference to, these ancient stories. It's just like in American culture, somebody might refer to, George Washington and the cherry tree or something like that, right? These are foundational stories. Okay. So, all right. Deirdre of the Sorrows. Okay. So, before her birth, okay. So I'm going to start the story now. Before her birth, Deirdre let out a cry from her mother's womb. The scream so frightened everybody that the king called in the druid. Okay, so everybody was gathered together in the king's court. And the druid prophesied that she would be the most beautiful woman in all of Ireland. Okay, that this baby, who is not yet born, would grow up to be the most beautiful woman in all of Ireland. But many warriors would die fighting because of her. Okay, so good news, bad news. Good news, bad news, King. What do you want to hear first? Okay. And the king ordered her sent away to be cared for by an old woman in a cottage in the country, where no man would ever see her, nor she any man. So she was to grow up not even knowing that men existed. Okay. And one night when she was grown, and now we're talking about being, say about 14 years old, Deirdre dreamt of her hero. And this is a drawing, and so I've gathered the pictures from various sources, and this is a drawing from a school child, drawing the picture of Deirdre dreaming. And so she asked, "Nurse, what was that strange person I saw in my dream?" Because remember, she'd never seen a man before. And the nurse says, "Just a figment of your imagination now. Don't bother about it." Okay. Then one day she heard hunters shout out in the woods. And she said, "Nurse, what was that sound?" And the nurse says, "Only the cry of the birds of the air." Okay, still trying to pass it off. Okay. And then one day the hunter sees Deirdre, the most beautiful woman in Ireland. Okay, so the hunter, Noosh, is separated from his group, and he chances upon Deirdre in the woods. And Deirdre and Noosh met. Okay? So they meet and they love. They fall in love. But King Concobar, okay, sometimes pronounced Connor, hears of Deirdre's beauty and wants her for himself. So remember, this is the same king that had sent her away. So he's quite a bit older now. Okay? He was older before, but now he's even older. Okay, but he still wants Deirdre for himself. He desires her for her beauty. And Deirdre and Noosh are determined not to be separated. So they flee. And Noosh carries Deirdre to safety. So here, and with him come his two brothers, or with them come his two brothers. Okay, so they make a happy trio, all three of them. And there's nothing, and it's not like a polymorphous, what do you call it? A polygamous, not a polygamous arrangement or anything like that, And with Noosh's three brothers, or two brothers, I think, they flee across the sea to Scotland. Okay, so right here, and this is a very common trail from the Gaels in Ireland to go to Scotland. Okay, so, and at this narrowest point, it's only about 12 miles across. And so a ship could easily sail across this open sea. And they settle on the west coast of Scotland. Okay. And the king promises them a safe return. So actually, they're very happy there. They set up a little home. They have a cottage, and they're very happy. But then the king promises them a safe return. Okay. Oh, come on back. All is forgiven. Okay. And believing the king, Deirdre and the sons of Uisnech, that's his brothers, returned to Ireland. So they believed the king. Okay. bad, bad thing to do, bad idea. Okay, never believe the king when he says something like that. Okay, and the king betrays the brothers and orders his warriors to attack them. Noosh and his brothers fought the armies of the king, and many die, just as been foretold. So many of the soldiers of the king die. Okay, because the Noosh and his brothers are mighty warriors. But the brothers are slain. So this is a picture from a modern play, you see. So it's still, story's still being told. It's like a classic story that's still told again and again. It's these ancient stories serve in some ways the function of Shakespearean plays in amongst the English. Okay, you know, the Gaels refer back to these ancient tales. And the king takes Deirdre away. So kills all the brothers, including Noosh, you know, the man she loves, and he takes Deirdre away. And so here we see them running away or driving away. What would you say? In the chariots. In ancient times, we see pictures and references to chariots being used. But she cannot bear to be without her love, and so on the coasts of Ireland and Scotland, there's these high cliffs that go down 100, 200 yards, and they're really fearsome. So they're driving along the cliffs. I was just as an aside, I was on the Isle of Lewis a few years ago, and a young man had driven his motorcycle, not on purpose, off one of the cliffs on the Isle of Lewis. And it's very sad. I mean, while we were there, and it was very sad. Just a teenager. He got lost in the fog and went off the edge of the cliff. I was on the same trip, perhaps thinking about that. I was terrified when my daughter walked what I thought was too close to the edge, and the wind was coming up so fiercely off the ocean over the cliff. And I just had this terrifying vision of her being swept up by the wind and being carried out on the air and then being dropped on the rocks below. So I said, Caitlin, get away from there. Anyway, but let's go back. She cannot bear to be without her love. And so she throws herself from the chariot and dies, off the cliff. And sometimes it says she threw herself into the grave of Noosh. But anyway, so the king ordered their bodies separated into different graves. But the two trees grew up and intertwined, one from each grave, uniting the lovers forever. So anyway, and here's a translation of a song, a lament. Deirdre is dead and Noosh is dead, and if the oaks and stars could die for sorrow, it's a dark sky and a hard and naked earth will have this night in Emmen, which is the district in Ireland where they lived. Okay. Anyway, and the souls of Deirdre and the sons of Uisnech. So remember, those are her, I guess you call it her brothers-in-law, and her husband and Noosh, okay, rose into the heavens. And their journey there is known to the Gaels as the path of the sons of Uisnech. Okay. We call it in English, it's called the Milky Way. Okay. Okay. In Gaelic, it's the path of the sons of Uisnech. Shlia Machnan Uisnech. Okay. 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 The ways of the sons of Uisnech. Okay. 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 So that's the story of Deirdre. Okay. Deirdre of the Sorrows. Okay. So now we know that that seminal story in Gaelic ancient Gaelic mythology, ancient Gaelic culture. Okay. Any questions? Okay, right. Well, let's go to the song of the week. Well, I have to go back to share. Go back to share. And Òran. Okay. Mahir Misha Yantai Chadischach. My father sent me to the house of sorrow. So go ahead and say that. Mahir
Maher,
Maher,
Misha
Misha,
Misha,
Yantai,
Yantai Chadischach.
Cottage.
Yantai Karshak.
Chadischach. Okay, my father sent me to the house of sorrow. Okay. So, and so here we have, our scat, okay, our vocals. Okay. Now, whenever you see these come up on the screen or you see them in our singing, don't try to replicate them exactly. Okay. Just kind of wing it. Okay. Okay. So, for Maher Misha Yantai Chadischach.
Yeah, Maher, Misha, Yantai Hershak.
Chadischach. My father sent me to the house of sorrow. Chuir sent
Chuir.
Maher, my father,
Maher.
Misha, me, Yantai Chadischach, to the house of sorrow.
I,
And it repeats. Okay, so there's a lot of lines in this, but they repeat. So anyway, and oiche shin arene vanishko. And oiche
And Noiche, Shem Ben Banisio.
arene vanishko.
Vanish go.
The night he arranged a marriage for me. Okay, so this is a story of, and it kind of fits with Deirdre because we have several of these stories in Gaelic culture that have to do with, I don't know what you'd call it, inappropriate mating or inappropriate matches, where an older man tries to assert power and, for lack of a better word, take a younger woman. And very often she's in love with somebody else. And so tragedy and tragedy ensues. Okay. And right here we have a father arranging a marriage. An aiche shin arene vanishko. An aiche shin arene vanishko. That night he
Arena vanish go.
that night he arranged a marriage for me. Gertrug Ari.
Gutrug
Ari.
It's a pity, Lord, like God, Nachbe Mallory.
Nakbe Mallory.
Oh Lord, it's a pity that it wasn't my wake, that is not my funeral, rather than my marriage. And then again, Gertrude Ari Nachbe Mallory.
Gertrude Ari Nachbe
Mallory. Okay. Munduvrisht Molav an Tarango. Munduvrisht
Monorish,
Molav
Olav,
an Tarango.
Antano.
Okay, go. Okay. A little united D there, so it's roll. It's a little soft guttural. Okay. Before my hand broke the bread. So here we have her, and this is the woman, the young woman singing this, referring to the with the ceremony, So she breaks the bread, or the to signify, the married life. Okay. Down here, Mundorain Moskian.
Morento skiing,
Be a Jericho.
be a Yerakyo.
Be a Jericho. Before my knife cut the food for me. Mundorain Moskian be a Jericho.
Monarensky, me a Yerakyo.
Be a Jericho. Okay, before my knife cut the food for me. Yahan Kriya Nansu Soker.
Yakem Kriya Nasho Soke.
Okay, Yahan Kriya, steer Sean of the kind eyes. Kriya means heart. Okay, so it translated here is dear, literally means Sean heart, but dear Sean, Nansul Socher, of the eyes kind, Nansul Socher kind. Adovata noch supportive.
Vata nog supportive.
Supportive. Okay, your boat is tonight in the port. Adovata noch supportive. Och maha.
Okmaha.
Chanieli Socher.
Ania Soker.
Finale so
Oh, if then it is not calm, or but it is not calm. Och maha chanieli soker, but it's not calm. That is the weather's calm.
finale show.
Okay. Oh nach ro'u huil na toshik
Onak Ravu Yul no Tosha.
koshik. Okay. Weren't you my love, my first choice? Okay. So here, so hence the picture. Okay, here's Sean, kind-hearted Sean, waiting at the port, but the weather is not suitable, and so the girl can't get down to the boat, and so she ends up marrying the man in the house of sorrow. Okay, so. And here I have a little note: breaking the bread and cutting food as a couple was part of the marriage ceremony, symbolizing their lives together. Okay, so anyway, right, okay. All right, so there's that song, and there's this lovely video of it, okay, rendition of it, and so we'll share this, all right?
Mise dhan taigh charraideach iri urvi oho neiche shinne reine vanishka ahie voro neiche shinne reine vanishka iri urvi oho gortrugari nach bemadari ahie Madre, iri urvi oho, man de vrist mal laven herga, ahie voro oho, man de vrist mal laven herga, iri urvi oho, man drein muskien bege jerga, ahie voro.
All right, there we go. All right, beautiful song, I think. Love that song. Okay. All right, okay. So, that's about it for me. That's about all that I have. Okay, gotta come back to the Zoom. Okay, yeah, okay. That's about all I have for tonight. Does anybody have any questions before we go?
Did you
Questions?
say the song is Bria or another word?
Uh-huh. Bria. Okay. Bria could be Bria. And there's another word. I'll kind of a specialized word. Where are we? I'm trying to find yeah, my Word document. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'll go back. I'll go to the end to our notes section. It's Bria. We can say the song is Bria.
Pretty.
Or beautiful. Bria. Beautiful. You can also say music is being. Okay, sweet. But it's a sweetness that only applies to music. I mean, you can't say a cookie is being.
Leva.
Okay, only music. So Òran bean, you can say Òran bean, a sweet song, or Keol bean, sweet music. And so, yes, you could say Bria, or you could say bean. Okay, yeah. All right, so there we go.
A cookie is millish, right?
Mealish, yeah, mealish. Mealish. Okay.
Milis.
And that's sweet for the taste.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, very good. Okay. Oh, and that comes from meal.
Honey.
Honey.
Okay, honey.
miel.
Honey. Okay. All right. Well, flavor. All right. Where are we? So I've got to find my way back to Zoom, and there we go. Okay. All righty. Okay. Well, Aikaba Huladunya. Aikaba.
Cheery.
Cheery. Aikaba.
Tap a leaf.
Okay, top of the